of it?
Difficult to emphasize the guess. The assembly is invested with the oversight function over over the executive, over the judiciary. I'm sure the Rivers State House of Assembly in its freedom must have taken this decision, maybe based on certain things. But what is out there as of today is that, look, they are asking the DSS to probe the Chief Judge of Rivers State over alleged age falsification. You understand? So I'm sure they've acted within their bounds, within their powers to be able to do that. But the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria vests the power to remove the Chief Judge in just two people or two institutions. That is the Governor of Rivers State or the Governor of any state, and of course the National Judicial Council. Only these two institutions can cause the Chief Judge, to be removed. So maybe the House of Assembly, I want to believe, maybe the House of Assembly, after petitioning the DSS, I'm sure the DSS will be able to submit a report, to the House of Assembly. Maybe just after that, the House of Assembly may now formally petition the National Judicial Council over what the DSS has investigated. And I'm sure the National Judicial Council will invite the Chief Judge of the state to defend himself over the allegations. The only person that can remove the Chief Judge is the Governor of the state, who, if he thinks the Chief Judge is found wanting in some areas, can actually write a letter to the Assembly to look, I've just discovered some few things, some infractions against the Chief Judge, and I want him removed based on this infraction. The Constitution says that by 2/3 voting of the House, the Chief Judge can be removed. So technically, only two institutions can remove the Chief Judge, the Governor of the state, and of course the National Judicial Council.
The allegation is that age was falsified. If the Assembly is to pursue this as they have decided to, did they send the petition to the right channel? Is the DSS the available option for this kind of petition?
I've just stated that they can as well be doing this, hoping that the DSS can help them with the investigation.
Okay.
Probably maybe get an incontrovertible evidence against the Chief Judge. Maybe when they get the incontrovertible evidence, they can now formally petition the National Judicial Council, because there are only two bodies that the House of Assembly can send this petition to, either to the Governor of the state or to the National Judicial Council, because those are the two institutions vested with the power to be able to remove a Chief Judge. So maybe they want to get something that is incontrovertible, something that is unshakable, maybe in their belief. And maybe once they get that, they can either send such report, either to the Governor or to the National Judicial Council.
It's like he who alleges
must prove.
If you need another body to investigate and provide proof, should you not have alleged? I don't know if that sentence came out right. I should not be accusing you if I don't have the evidence. If I'm accusing you on the basis that...
No, the House of Assembly says they got something stating that the Chief Judge is alleged to have falsified his age.
Okay.
Meaning that the House of Assembly itself does not have an incontrovertible evidence. Maybe it's something that was submitted to the House of Assembly.
Okay.
And probably in order to be fair, you can say that is what has happened.
Okay.
DSS, can you help us investigate? When you investigate and bring us something that we think is concrete, sufficient enough, can we now proceed to stage 2? Maybe the stage 2 is to submit a formal petition by attaching the investigation of the DSS, maybe to the National Judicial Council or to the Governor of Rivers State.
Would it be smart to make public the information after the DSS investigation?
When the DSS makes the investigation, I'm sure they will submit their report to the...
No. If you approach the DSS, right, and they now investigate and something is found, then you and I that are speaking English on radio can now find out. Not now.
No. When the DSS makes the investigation, they will submit their report to the House of Assembly. The House of Assembly may at that point not even tell you the outcome of the investigation. What they can do as well is just, okay, based on what DSS has given us, can we petition either the Governor or the National Judicial Council?
So in the event that the DSS investigates and finds nothing, this would be a false alarm?
I think before we...
No, because it is an option.
No, I think
it's a possibility.
No, I think like we always say, it will be better to get to the bridge. Or it's better you get to the boat to know whether the engine is working or not. Before you now start asking what the boat doesn't start, get to the boat first.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Yes.
There are concerns about the timing of this call because this same Justice Simeon Amadi was a chief judge from the previous administration with these same assembly members. Somehow, nothing was
almost
the
same assembly members.
At the time, it didn't seem like anything was falsified. So the timing raises questions about how this might be a political move. Could this, in any way, shape, or form, be an indicator of an impeachment that is loading?
Well, depending on where you are looking at it from, you understand. If you say this is targeted at impeaching the governor, one, impeaching the governor is not a tea party. It's not something you do in a day.
Okay.
That's one. Two is that if, let's even assume without conceding that Justice Simeon Amadi is found guilty, assuming without conceding, by either by the National Judicial Council or by the governor of the state, it means that Justice Simeon Amadi will be removed as chief judge. The Constitution says that in the event of a vacancy, the most senior judge in the state judiciary will be appointed as acting chief judge, not more than a period of 3 months.
Okay.
And after that 3 months, that same person can no longer be appointed as acting chief judge. The same Constitution says that for you to be a chief judge, you don't even need to be a member of the Rivers State Judiciary to be a chief judge. Yes, to be a chief judge, you can be in private practice. The Constitution says for you to be made a chief judge, you should have a legal experience of claim. There is no Constitution that says you must be to become the chief judge.
So, what does legal experience mean?
You might be in private practice, a lawyer. You might be.
You have to be okay. At least you.
Of course, I'm sure you know that lawyers are appointed judges.
Okay.
Lawyers who are in private practice are appointed judges.
Okay.
You understand? So the law says Constitution less than of legal practice.
Minimum.
You can be chief or can appoint the chief judge from the state judiciary. At that point in time, it doesn't say you must be the most senior to be the chief judge.
Okay.
So you understand? So it is because if we assume without considering that Justice Simeon Amadi is removed, it means that an acting chief judge will be appointed by the governor, and the acting chief judge must be the most senior judge of the state judiciary.
Appointed by the governor.
Appointed by the governor, without any influence from anybody, without validation from anybody.
Okay.
Appointed, by the governor. And of course, they expected that within those 3 months, the process of appointing a substantive chief judge will not begin. So it means that the State Judicial Council will nominate or make recommendations. Those recommendations will be sent to the National Judicial Council. The National Judicial Council will probably look at the names. If it's just one, look at the name. Is the person worthy to occupy this office and not the rest? The National Judicial Council will now forward the name to the governor of the state and say, look, Mr. ABC.
Who is about to be impeached, by the way, in the context of this?
No, I'm saying no. I'm saying that assuming without conceding that the
We're trying to connect it to an impeachment now.
Yes, I'm saying that assuming without conceding that the chief judge is found guilty.
Okay.
I'm saying that what will happen first?
The process of his replacement.
Yes, the process of his replacement is that the governor will appoint an acting chief judge for a period of 3 months. In those 3 months, the process of now getting a substantive chief judge will now begin. The nomination will be done by the State Judicial Council, sent to the National Judicial Council. The National Judicial Council looks at the name, forwards the name to the governor of the state. Then the governor will also forward that same name to the House of Assembly for ratification. And once the House of Assembly ratifies that person, the person will now be sworn in by the governor as the chief judge of the state. So that's the process of having. So you look at the process of having to remove a chief judge, a process of having to get another chief judge. So you are probably looking at another 3-4 months.
Okay.
Then you can now talk about impeaching the governor. Impeaching the governor, like I said, is not a tea party. You have to formally notify the governor. You give him a period of 2 weeks to either respond or not respond. Whether he responds or not, the House of Assembly, by a resolution of 2/3, can now formally write, to the chief judge to set up a 7-man panel. It is a 7-man panel now that is now vested with the power. The House of Assembly doesn't technically impeach the governor immediately. Where the governor is either impeached or not impeached is by the 7-man panel to be set up by the chief judge. That panel has a period of 90 days to sit. In those 90 days, the panel will entertain the allegations against the governor and the defense of the governor.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the sitting, the panel has just two things to do. Either to write that based on what you have submitted against the governor, he is guilty. The constitution says that that report will be sent to the House of Assembly, and by a resolution of 2/3 of all the members, the governor stands impeached. However, if that panel submits a report and say, look, from what you have submitted before us, we can't find anything tangible against the governor, the constitution says that impeachment fails automatically at that point.
So the judge is important again.
All the heads of three arms of government are important.
We have a break coming up.
So it's not a tea party.
We have to take this break. After that, we connect and engage with you, and you tell us what you make of these developments by the River State House of Assembly. Stay with us.
With information comes power.
Welcome back. It still is Hard Facts in 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Orokuchinedu here. Our conversation for this hour is about the River State House of Assembly asking the DSS to investigate the chief judge of the state for alleged age falsification. The Assembly took the decision during its plenary today following the presentation of some documents to the Speaker by the Leader of the House, Major Jack. And I've been having conversations with my guest, Mr. Olalekan. You're welcome once again, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Chinedu.
And my question for you, it's time for you to be a part of the conversation, is this accountability or a seeming political witch hunt? The numbers to call are 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-0646. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can watch, listen, and engage. Please turn off your radio as you call. Caleb Abinoye on Facebook says the 27 lawmakers don't want peace in the state. Instead, they meet their people. Instead of them to meet their people, the people they represent, they are meeting one man. They say they need urgent recall by the people of the state. Okay. And Patrick Johnny says Justice Simeon Amadi should surrender himself to the DSS or the police if truly he's innocent. Amadi must show good example as a judge by being clean and upright to prove to Rivers people that Fubara's cabinet is not filled with corrupt misfits. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good evening.
Sam, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you, my brother.
All right.
Calling from Yenegoa.
Go ahead.
Good evening, my brother.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Let me address this issue. My happiness, Rivers State will not be the first. Because in Imo State, just of recent, I heard the governor crying bitterly that in the whole of the federation, it is only Imo State that has brought shame that the chief judge falsified his age, and today NJC have removed him. So Olalekan Ige was trying to tell us how to go about this whole thing. It's very right. But I can tell you what is playing out in Benue State. A governor presently in Nigeria cannot remove any chief judge of the state, because that was what they told the House of Assembly and the governor. Because the House of Assembly and the governor agreed and removed him. But NJC said, you cannot pass through us.
No, that's
you
not
have the final say. So in this matter, DSS will investigate. If it turns out to be the real thing, the truth and nothing but the truth,
All right, Gift.
it will go straight to NJC, not the governor of Rivers State.
My guest has a response for you. Mr. Ige, you were about to react.
I'm saying what happened in Benue State is not that the governor and the House of Assembly agreed to remove the chief judge. No, it was the House of Assembly in Benue State that removed the chief judge without the influence of the governor. That was what the NJC said. NJC said the Assembly cannot unilaterally remove the governor. That's not what happened. What happened was that the Assembly, by resolution of the majority of the House of Assembly members in Benue, they claimed to have removed the chief judge. And the NJC said, no, you can't do that. There has to be an input, from the governor of the state.
All
It's
right.
in the constitution how a chief judge can be removed.
Thank you very much. Chima calls from Ada George. Hello, Chima. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. San.
Good evening.
Mr. San, it's indeed unfortunate that the 27 lawmakers have decided to sacrifice the collective interest of those who elected them to protect the interests of their benefactor. That is what is playing out. Everything, particularly that I can tell you for free, you understand, is to put fear on this man so that anything is going to do.
Hello? Oh, my. Okay, Chima, I seem to have lost that call. Ken from Obimini. Good evening, Ken.
Good evening, SOC once more,
Good evening.
and greetings to your guest.
Yeah, good day.
SOC, I believe that the assembly members are hunting the judge. Otherwise, I believe that man has served this state for more than 5 years. And they were there during the last administration. So if you ask me, these are what were their problems. And if you can understand, imagine the 3 bills that we have passed few days ago concerning the local government, concerning whether it is the judge, concerning one other bill again that they just passed immediately the Supreme Court ruling. So they are now ready to withhold whoever that came or that were stumbling blocks during this their crisis or in this their crisis. So it is unpolitical, and it is not, in fact, very, very, I would say that we are running military regime in this state. For House of Assembly members to be their lord because of one man, I repeat it again, it is highly shameful. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Ken. Chima calls from Rumokuta. Hello, Chima.
Good evening, Mr. Sam.
Good evening.
I also bid you to the studio. Mr. Sam, I know with the tempo in River State now, we're going to look at it as a witch hunt. Mr. Sam, anybody that is capable of anything, one thing, you should face it. What are we talking about? I don't even want a just state in this. If somebody, okay, if such matter is outside the judiciary, where will it be judged? It's not the judiciary would have judged that, oh, your age is past, okay, so you go away or go to prison. How would you be inside where you are you are in the office whereby you want to tell what is good and what is bad, and you're doing bad? Why won't it remember to say, if that's the case, investigate him? Do you know what happened in the time of Jesus Christ? When they brought him, what did Pontius Pilate say? He said, I have the power to stop it, but he's carrying him out for investigation. That's what he said. So what I'm expecting liberty to do today is to say, if that is the case, then investigate the young man. If he is standing on a false foundation, let the law take its course. How are we going to get a better liberty for ourselves? We have been complaining no job because those that refuse to retire. We have been complaining that things are not working well because people are putting their brother and sister out of nepotism. And when things don't work out well, we will come and say it's a witch hunt, it's a this, it's a this, it's a that. If the chief judge is out of age, it's not new chief that will go there, it's not the head of our family.
Okay.
And if it is of age, would he put himself, would he investigate himself? I would not tell him thank you for that.
Well, the DSS will investigate, and you and I will find out what they find out. Mufasa calls from NT Road. Hello, Mufasa. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sam. Good evening, Chief Olalekan Ovunda again.
No, please. My name is not Ovunda again.
Okay.
My new name now is Sotonye, please.
Okay, I'm very sorry about that.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Sam, for me, I believe this is a witch hunt. Like your guest has, intelligently said.
Oh, my. Mufasa, apologies for that. Call back if you can. Madiba calls from Eagle Island. Hello, Madiba. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening.
And the chief that just keep on changing it.
Good day, please.
I know from your experience, if at all they are led to what they are saying is true, is it different from who deposed an affidavit in a given matter and now deny? Is it different? Is it not the same forgery? If at all. And I want to see the activists take up this case.
Madiba, please turn off your radio.
Okay, sorry. I want to see activists, take up this issue with this guy, and they also committed forgery. And this is the chief judge that screen. The only person that is not in that assembly is about two of them. If not, it's a full house. So what is the issue now? Must you control everybody because you support people who should not have their mind of their own again? And thank you for clarifying the issue of the Benue State issue. When people call an issue they don't know. The governor said he was not even in the know of what the House of Assembly did. The governor of Benue said that he was not even in the known. How can they do that? That was what happened. Now, come to our issue here. You want to put, you've already said it, the way he can be removed. If at all is found guilty, fine, okay. But using that to impeach the governor is not easy.
All right.
I think you cannot just carry the elephant on your head while you're using leg to look for snow.
Okay, Madiba.
So it's something we are also guilty.
Thank you very much. I must move on now. Jude calls from Amuma. Good evening, Jude.
Yes, Sam.
Good evening.
This question is for Ige, because you and I think we are blank here.
Okay.
Ige, my question is falsification of any kind, I guess, is criminal. If it is criminal, I guess such matters can be taken to court, since the House of Assembly have documents or evidences to show that Simeon Amadi falsified his age. And I guess, too, that Simeon Amadi, the Chief Judge, does not have immunity. Does he have? So why can't this matter go straight to the court, charge him for falsification, and if he found guilty, he can pay the price? Not passing through only removing him by National Judicial Council or the government.
But you know that hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
The procedure is that there is a National Judicial Council that is vested with the powers to do all of these investigations. Is according to the Constitution. It does not have immunity, yes, but there is a body statutorily empowered to handle such investigation, and that is the NJC. I remember not too long ago, there was a chief judge of Abia State that was also found guilty of falsification of age, and that person was sacked from office and asked to return the money he collected from the day he ceased to be when he met the mandatory age to have retired as the chief judge of Abia. I'm not saying that the chief judge of Rivers State is clean. Investigate. I'm sure when they get the investigation of DSS, they will be able to forward it to the NJC. I said it that according to the Constitution, only 2 institutions can remove the chief judge. That is the National Judicial Council or the governor of Rivers State. The House of Assembly can get the report of the DSS and forward it to the governor, because the Constitution says that the chief judge can be removed on the recommendation of the House of Assembly, that the chief judge can be removed. Or you send the petition to the National Judicial Council, they will investigate, and if it is true, the man will be sacked from office forthwith. That's what I said. It's the Constitution. After that, if you now want to take the chief judge to court for perjury, that is for lying, that his age is 20, meanwhile his age is 29, you can now on your own, or the assembly can on their own take him to a formal court to answer for perjury. These are different scenarios that can happen. I've not cleared him. I did not say he's right or he's not wrong, but I'm only saying that as it is today, only 2 institutions can remove him from office.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ige. Thank you. Let's take messages. Political sins are never forgiven. That's why they say politics is a dirty game. The chief judge was screened, and because he's not ready to dance to their tune, suddenly they have remembered his secret. All this to clear the way for their plans, Ezekiel Isaiah says on WhatsApp. Imam Otaka says, good afternoon. The plan of the Assembly of River State to investigate Chief Judge of the state is effort in futility. All plans to remove the Chief Judge to pay their way to impeach the governor. Shame on whoever plotted this. Reason being that he or them have failed woefully. Imam says, good afternoon, Sam. You see what I'm saying? The House members should be ashamed for once. The same speaker screened and certified the man fit for the position. Were they blinded? And now they can see God is watching. And their democratic coup d'etat aided by the federal. Living Jamala says, on the issue of the Assembly asking DSS to investigate the Chief Judge, the law and the rules are clear. DSS cannot investigate a judge, let alone Chief Judge of a state. He has to be petitioned to the NJC and investigated. If found wanting, dismissed before an institution. I think he can.
I think, Chinedu, just to maybe to educate, let me just quickly read what the Constitution says so that we can educate our listeners out there. Right. In third schedule, Section 21D. It says that the National Judicial Council can recommend to the governors the removal from office of the judicial officers in subparagraph C above. Those are Chief Judge, Grand Cadi, and all the rest of this paragraph, and to exercise disciplinary control over such officers. That's what the NJC can do. So if they have made their investigation and they find it to be true, they will now recommend the sack of the judicial officer, in this case the chief judge, to the governor, and the governor is now mandated to sack the chief judge. That's the third schedule, section 21D. Now let me go to section, just a second please, section 292, removal of judicial officers from office. In section 292 subsection 2, it says chief judge Grand Cadi of the state by the governor acting on an address supported by 2/3 majority of conduct. These are only two ways you can remove a chief judge. So there's they can as well formally, by a resolution of 2/3, recommend the removal of the chief judge from office. They have to recommend to the governor. If they don't want to pursue that route, they can pursue the second one, formally petition the NJC. That's what the constitution says.
Okay. Ogu Justice on Facebook says, simply because he has refused to perfect their impeachment bid, Patrick Ajah says it's a waste of time. And Fidelis Elemowa says the political reality is that, I'm rephrasing here, the governor will not be impeached. Fidelis again says what's happening is what we call political conspiracy, which is aimed at removing the governor from his seat. All right, it's 4:49, a few more calls, and we wrap up conversations. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you, Chinedu the Oracle.
Evening, what's your name?
Yeah, good evening to Olalekan.
Yeah, good evening, please.
Okpando Obina is my name.
All right, go ahead.
You see, all these happenings that have arisen this time around, you see, an inquisitor is doing it not right, or that they have not backing. I think that the motive behind what is not for the interest of the state. The other day we saw a case of that has been in the Supreme Court for many years to vacate the investigation of a former governor. Before you know it, the thing has been tricking out. Today, these people are coming to give the DSS an order to investigate the chief judge. This is provide his age. My brother, all these things that they are doing is just politically motivated. It is not going to improve anything. It is not going to improve the GDP of Nigeria, or neither that of Rivers State. It is not going to put food in any table of any Rivers people. These things are just waste of time and politics that they are playing. They should just be serious in this country for once.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I squeeze in one more call? Okay, let's try. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, hi Sam. Good evening once again. Mufasa on the line.
All right, Mufasa, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, a lot has been said, and then for me, like I've said before, this is pure political wish on. There are procedures upon which a chief judge, can be investigated. You see, that was why in one of your, there are processes. It doesn't matter your political leanings or whatever objectives that you want to achieve. The man has told them, the Simon Amandi has told them that he's not a politician. They should be out of all this their power struggle. That is why they want him out. But it's not even with the way and manner they are going about it. Write a petition to the NJC. Let the NJC investigate one of their own. These are the processes. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Mufasa. You are my final caller. Maybe a message or two can make it in and we wrap up. Good afternoon, Sam and Mr. Ige, the House of Rep members, State House of Assembly, you mean, who couldn't raise their voices over budget presentation during Governor Wike's time have turned to tigers For me, they're out for vendetta and a dirty fight with the way they're going about their legislative business. It's as if each day that breaks, they look for one government to attack. Impeachment is not the end of Fubara's life. Should continue playing their master script. Bernard from Port Harcourt says. And finally, may God bless you immensely. It's obvious that you're professional. So as the 10th assembly members are up to something. They are not ready for any peace in River State. So the same assembly that extended the tenure of the chief judge, God Day Teme, says, okay, Mr. Ige, we have come this far, but we must end it by answering the question, what's the way forward?
Well, I think it's to appeal to all the political gladiators. At this point, I won't say I'm not an indigenous of River State. Let me say I'm an indigenous of River State. Or let me say I'm a Rivers man.
Okay.
Yesterday, the news yesterday was that the GDP of Lagos is now at $292 billion US dollars. At a time, River State was almost running neck to neck with Lagos. So what is the GDP of River State today? The instability will probably want to give an investor a second thought to say, look, why will I come the way of River State?
Yeah, definitely.
Lagos State is a fertile ground. So if we have Lagos as $292 billion US dollars, that means Lagos economy is probably about the second or the third in Africa. I doubt whether the GDP of River State is up to $60 billion US dollars. I may be wrong, but I'm just hazarding a guess. I think just River State is so important to all of us. All of us reside in this state. Like I always say, the prosperity of River State is the prosperity of all of us.
Truly.
And the best we can do is just to ensure that, look, we chart a course, We should expand the frontiers of what the Rivers has at the moment. Let's expand the frontiers. Because in expanding those frontiers, you create limitless, opportunities. So the way forward is just to appeal to the, political gladiators. 2027 invests Rivers people with opportunity leaders.
Right.
It's not too far away. We're in 2025 already.
Yes, right?
Yeah, we're in 2023. Next year, there's a time fight. Then there's now a time to now say, no, let's do so that people,